right. I'll take my seat.
Good evening, everyone. I'm calling the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting to order for June 27th, 2022. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, David,
Here.
Bill,
Here.
Joyce,
Here.
Becky,
Here.
Rob,
Here.
Andy,
Here.
all's present.
David, would you mind saying a few words?
Lord, thank you for this beautiful day you provided for us, Lord. And be with Andy as he presides over the council and our council night to give us the wisdom and the knowledge to help us make the decisions for our village. Be with our citizens in our village. And also be with our great country tonight as we celebrate another birthday in the coming week. And Lord, also touch the ones that are unable to help themselves, Lord. Give them a helping hand. In Jesus' wonderful name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the following minutes from the council meeting held on June 13th, 2022, and a special meeting held on June 21st, 2022?
Had that motion?
I'll
David?
second that for you.
Rob?
David, Rob. Roll call. David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy.
Yes. All right, thank you. We do not have a mayor's report tonight. Obviously, I'm standing in for Mayor Darlington. She has some family commitments to attend to this evening, so you've got me, and we're gonna roll like rock. So President Pro Tem report, I'm gonna keep my remarks brief and limited to the committee updates, of which we've had a lot going on in the last 2 weeks. We've met quite a bit. So I'll limit my remarks to that, and we'll move on now to public comments and visitors. So I have several to this evening. The first one is Dina Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, would you like to make some comments tonight?
She can
Okay.
come up here.
Yes,
Yeah,
can
would you like to
please
come up here?
to the-
Yes.
Yep, to the, mic, please.
Just to Dad, cheers, that way we can hear you.
And if you could repeat your first and last
Just
name.
right up here, ma'am.
Right there.
Right here.
Everybody gets
Yeah, just to the edge.
Oh, I'm sorry.
First and last name and where you reside at.
Yeah, my name is Dina Hernandez,
What's your address?
76,
East Columbus.
Columbus Street, Most Stanley, Ohio,
Okay.
43143.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, I need for the, I have a chickens in my house,
yeah,
so not a lot of chickens.
today, the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
We, as a village, do not allow livestock in the village limits, so that's
it's not.
chickens, ducks, horses, pigs, everything. That's not to say that,
Yeah.
you have to do anything with your chickens, it's just that they can't be in the village, according to our ordinance.
It's very close in my house. It's, I have a fence.
Yeah.
It's inside, only for a couple months. So for summer, not for, Winter.
So our laws don't really recognize any kind of distinction for how long or how many or what kind of chicken or what kind of
White
livestock.
chicken.
No, I'm saying our laws just say none.
oh, okay.
There is none.
It's not.
Yeah. Does any other council member wish to comment? I'm just saying kind of what the
Sure,
current
this
state is.
Something we could probably revisit and discuss it, because I know that other municipalities in Madison County do allow chickens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no goats, no cattle, obviously, but it's something we'd have to talk about and revisit that and see, what we really feel about it, if that's something we're willing to change.
Is it a 4-H project? Do you have children and have it for 4-H maybe?
My boys, I like chickens, I like animals, my twins.
I-
So,
yeah, no.
very
So
happy
basic-
for
basic-
animals.
Do you raise them for the eggs and,
Yeah.
basically?
Yeah. So this is probably,
Yeah.
Well, I'd
I
like to
don't know.
reiterate, as chairman of the nuisance committee, thank you for coming in. But I would like to reiterate what Andy said. It's an ordinance, and we don't normally make exceptions. It's not just an issue with one person having chickens. If we start allowing them to have chickens, then it could escalate. We just can't, excuse me, we don't have the resources to monitor it, to make sure that it would only be in a specific time frame. So, just.
My neighbors is okay, you know, for the chicken.
And I understand that probably where you are, but
Yeah.
on another street, it might not be okay.
Yes.
You know, so we have to keep everything uniform within the village. So, as Rob said, we don't know what we might revisit going forward, but as of right now, it is not something we make an exception for. No, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Have you ever thought about possibly looking at some of the farmland? I mean, we're surrounded in Madison County with farmland. They're very well, and I do know that there are other farmers around that allow residents to, like kids in 4-H or someone that wanted to raise chickens or something, some kind of livestock, that you could possibly rent a small part of their farm
Oh.
that they aren't using. So I would probably check with some of the local farmers and see if they can somehow assist you with that.
Oh, okay, you check it, you call me, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
please. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Certainly.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Mr. Roger, Mr. Gillum? Would you mind stating your name and your address for the microphone there?
Roger Gillum, 148 West Columbus Street.
Okay, okay,
Well, I'm here for the same thing.
yeah,
I don't know her, never met her before, but I'm asking the same thing for the ordinance to be amended so that we can have at least hens inside the town. As somebody said earlier, I can't find another area inside Madison County that has a ban on hens.
okay. I'm sure our nuisance abatement committee can take a look at this, and we can look at it further. As it sits today, no, there isn't any livestock inside the village
Right,
limits.
right.
And,
That's why I was
and
asking for
as
it.
Joyce has mentioned, we're trying to go out of our way to make sure that everyone is equal
Mm-hmm.
in all of this, so that if there is a question about, what you can and can't have, when you can and can't have it, how big, how many, where they can be, all of that stuff, that everyone understands. It's no different than, getting a shed or putting up a fence or, all of that. Everyone gets treated equal, or at least they should. That's my perspective on it. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that?
We ran into something like this, sir, one other time. There's a real good family, and they want to have pygmy goats in town. And the neighbors, that's my third year on council, and we decided, the neighbors didn't want the pygmy goats there. And so we had an ordinance then, and if we open up one thing, you'd have to open up for something else. That's what makes it so difficult. It's a hard decision to make, but on that part, but I think we'll let the nuisance, and like I said, let them talk this over too.
We have a meeting coming up.
We'll have a meeting on, I believe it's the 13th, and I'll make sure that we get that on our agenda to discuss. And that's about all I can promise for right now, is that we will discuss it.
Okay. I also have some signatures from town, about 70 or 80 of them. I don't know if you guys are interested. I didn't figure you would be. All right, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Well, that would be, Roger, was it Roger? Yeah, we're certainly interested in those 70 or 80 signatures. It's important to know that 70 or 80 people are interested in that. And we do take it seriously, and I'm sure the nuisance will review it. And I would suggest, I'm not on the nuisance committee right now, I would suggest coming to the nuisance meeting. And maybe while they're discussing it, ask to be heard again and explain to them why you want those hens. Now, is yours also just for the egg producing reason?
Experience for the kids,
Yeah,
today's society,
yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that doesn't hurt.
Well, I think your points are very valid, and I appreciate you both coming, and I think it's something that should be considered.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. And our final person who would like to say a few words tonight, Mr. Curry.
Yes, My name's Kenny Curry, for those of you who don't know me. Have the Sterling Bluegrass Jamboree here in town. I'm open on the weekends. Every time we close the center of town down, I get no business. There's nowhere to park. I have bands that travel. I had a band cancel coming out of Carolinas because with the fuel prices and all, they asked
It's
me what my
hard.
thoughts was. And I told them, I said, just give them a weekend for sure. I can't guarantee you anything. So they opted not to come, which we still was open. We had the house band and all that, but we had, I think, 8, maybe 10 people show up.
Okay.
So I know a lot of the reason why it was they couldn't find a place to park.
Okay. Now, do they like to park right in front of your
They
your,
park
your
here.
building right there,
They
or
park in front of the building,
Okay.
they park around Town Square, over by the Mad Hatter,
Okay.
they park wherever they can find a place to park.
park? Okay.
Yeah, they don't mind usually walking, somewhat of a distance, but I got a lot of elderly people.
Yep.
And I keep I put a sign out before each show early in the day that, unloading only, no parking. And the neighbor's kind enough, she knows a couple of the older folks that come every week, she lets them park on their property.
Okay.
But this past deal we had was a complete farce. I pulled in just to drop some equipment off because I had played down here in the on Friday night in town. And when I come to drop my equipment off, there was cars parked double deep. Both alleys was blocked. One going to EMS, the one by my building was blocked. And I went over and asked Becky to have the cars moved or I was gonna have them towed. I don't know, and I don't wanna be a pain. I try to work with everybody I can. But
Well,
it's not right for some people in town to benefit and some people not to be able to have business because the center of town is closed down.
we love small business in Mount Sterling, and I can absolutely assure you that we are open for business. And I will take your concerns seriously, and I would like to meet with you and discuss a little bit further if I could. And yes, I'm sure we can find a way, just as we have worked with ODOT and the sheriff to change the traffic pattern in town over time, when we have road closures and things like that. There's no reason why we can't work to resolve some of these issues, especially since we don't have them every month. They only happen,
Once a year.
Yeah,
So,
it's not like it's once a month.
I'd be happy to talk with you a little further about some common sense things we can do. Like, I also get concerned when we close alleys because I don't like EMS not having the ability to go down the alley, because that's kind of a big deal. So that, when you say words like that, it bothers me a little bit. So we need to resolve
The
these
neighbor,
things.
I pulled in because I seen an opening where I thought I could swing out. And because they were parked on, my neighbor being Kim, and I
Yeah.
can't think of her husband across the street. I pulled my truck up there and then I seen my alley was blocked. So I had to back out into traffic, which that was
And
fine.
I know you guys usually have a big coach when the bands come in.
Yeah,
You have a big coach right out front, so I know.
So luckily that bus wasn't there.
Okay, yeah,
I book a lot of my shows a year in advance.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm not trying to be a pain to nobody.
I'd be happy to talk with you further, and let's see if we can figure out a plan.
All right, yes, I know when I got the time for the next chambers meeting. Mm-hmm. So I wanna go talk to them too.
Okay, that's fair.
I know your
all that's
shows
fair.
draw big crowds itself.
They
but
can,
you
they
got-
can,
yes,
but
exactly, yes.
the bad thing is, I'm only open usually on Saturday.
Yeah,
Sometimes
right.
it's Friday or Saturday, sometimes it's Sunday.
I see you putting up your sign, getting ready different
Yeah.
times too, when I'm up there,
So I just like somebody to think about what we can do, cause it can't go on like
I
that.
couldn't agree.
Is wasted. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so
I mean,
much.
there's-
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to address that if I could. So, you asked Barbie and I, we put the whole thing together, with the help of others, but, if we would not put vendors down in front of your building, even though we did have permission from council to have those streets closed, and we did that for you. We made sure. Now, when you came up to me and told me these cars need to move, I cannot control any more than you can where people park. That's a sheriff department issue. If someone is double parked or parked in an alley where they should not be, that needs to be addressed to the sheriff's department and tow them if that's the case. But it wasn't the Chamber of Commerce or it wasn't the vendors, parking there. I don't know who it was.
Yeah,
How
the
did-
one lady in the truck by my building, I don't know if she was actually working with the vendor, but she was there because she heard me tell a couple of them
Yeah.
that those cars that were there, if they wouldn't move, they were gonna be towed in a half hour.
Right, well, and that's fine if they're double parked or in an alley, but if they're on the street, it's public parking, and we all have that problem. We all have that problem. There's not enough places to park in this village. So we just do a lot of juggling. But, the good thing is, this event has been on the street, then it's been at Vetch Field, which we do not, the Chamber of Commerce doesn't own Vetch Field anymore. It's private property, from the community center. And, and also rain is a mess out there when.
Chambers of Commerce own the center of town, the road, where they block everything off.
Chamber of Commerce is working for all businesses of this town. No, and they
That's
come,
all I want, I just want.
and they come to council and get approval, and it's one day a year, so,
No, it's blocked off more than one day. a
well, right, but it affects your business one day a year.
year. No, every time you have any kind of crafts and stuff going on down through there, it affects my business, because it's all blocked off at the same spot every time. Now, it hasn't been blocked off I haven't had the issue that I had this last time. That's what drove me over the edge. But, it's always been an issue. Every time the town or the road's blocked off, then it causes me a problem. And so, like I say, I'm not trying to, ruffle anybody's feathers, but there again, I've had all I can take.
Yeah.
So,
I have your contact information. You were kind enough to leave it in the book. I will
I appreciate it.
reach out to you, and let's see what we can do for you.
All right.
Mr. Curry, I personally would like to thank you for coming in because I have the same issue, not with my business, but with my church. And I don't like the streets being closed on Sundays any more than you would like them during your hours of business. So I feel strongly that when Andy says he will sit and talk to you about it, hopefully maybe we can even consult with the chamber. I know that it was approved, I believe, for it to be set up the way it was, but I would like to see some changes made also. So I want to thank you for coming in.
Oh, I appreciate you listening to me.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Thank you. Okay, that closes our public comment section for tonight. We do not have an executive session scheduled, so that's good. We've already had some of those here in the last couple of weeks, so that's cool. Is the sheriff's deputy ready to present a report this evening? All right, come on down.
Well, all right. They're right there. I was looking for the report, that's usually.
Right?
Thank you, sir.
He's not there. No, he's up there.
I'll borrow it. That's
He
fine.
moved
Thank
on,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy Gibson? Sergeant Gibson?
Borrow that. Thank you, Sergeant. We do our best.
Well, you're not Jack.
I picked up on that when I first saw it.
guys, they all know
Canister of water, and I left it in the car.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you get these on the phone too? I
My
get-
phone?
Yeah, I get a
All right.
phone.
So handed out the report, if anybody has any questions, more than willing to answer it. I think in particular, Jackie wanted me to call attention to the fact that, there's 40 traffic stops in the last, month, inside the village. So there had been a particular point that, council had wanted to, follow up with, so,
I saw where you got the traffic stops where you're doing a job there now. That's really going up.
Yeah, I've
Which is a
noticed
good
the
thing. It's slowing them
speed.
down.
Yeah.
40 people ain't looking.
Yeah.
Do we still have the, on High Street, the sign, or is it gone?
It's actually out.
It's actually sitting around
Oh,
park
is it
right
out
next
back?
to
Okay,
it.
because I thought I saw it and then I didn't see it.
Yeah,
it's gonna run on like 2 to 3 day intervals, because
Okay.
its battery limits its ability to, stay out permanently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where it's
So
going
it's-
next?
Yeah, it'll go back out, and then it'll come back home and charge for a couple of days, then it'll go back out.
Do you know where it's going next?
High Street.
I don't know that.
Same place
answer
on
yet.
High Street?
Same place?
Yeah.
Why?
Yep. Well, with the recent, they really weren't able to get a valid check on it when it was sitting out there, and it sounds like there was more complaints on High Street about the speeding, so they're gonna monitor it.
That's right.
Does that sign keep in memory the speeds that it,
I unfortunately know nothing about that sign,
Okay.
other than how to plug it in. Usually
that just crossed my mind
Yeah,
while I was
on my
listening.
side of the operation of the sign, it's the Ron Papil method, set it and forget it. So, you see that it's set up someplace, our traffic guy has always taken care of programming that, so I unfortunately don't know.
Well, we're looking forward to having it out for an extended period of time and in the village, and I've talked to the sheriff, and my understanding is, first of all, thank you for bringing it down. We really appreciate it. It is tremendously helpful. I understand that obviously others in Madison County may also other villages may want to use it as well, but this is something which is in high demand here, because we have, you know, as witnessed by the fact you've got 40 traffic stops, we have some headwinds. And we really, really, really could use it here for a while. So thank you for helping get it down here, and we're going to put it out and use it all around town.
Now, when it
One
was,
thing I want to bring up, juveniles between Rosewood and Temple were wandering way past curfew time last Wednesday night. It was almost midnight, and they were standing under not really doing anything, but they was between the ages of 12 and 14, and they messed around a couple of cars. Well, one of them, I told them to get down the street, and they told me to F off. And so I thought maybe, and I don't think it was in a friendly way. But I thought maybe.
Is there a friendly way to do that?
Yeah, there ain't. There is a. I used to umpire too. But the point of this, if you guys could watch a little bit on that, because they haven't done nothing yet, but I know they're not supposed to be wandering the streets at that hour of night.
Yeah, so, you know, I think it's important to remember that, you know, when school lets out, kids have always, as the tradition of kids, I did it, I'm sure we all did it, stretch their boundaries.
Yes.
And so I think that's where good community policing comes in.
Yes.
So lots of times you just make friendly contacts with those kids, say, hey, what are you guys doing? Isn't it awfully late? Your parents know where you're at. It's time to run you back home. You know, and like I said, you know, that rebellious youth, if anybody says that they weren't there at one point in their life, we've all been there, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta push back against the authority.
Like I said, when I was growing up.
You're assuming we outgrow that.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah, well, you hope they do.
That's right.
Well, thanks. If you can check, I appreciate it.
Anything else for the sergeant tonight?
No, outstanding job on the traffic stops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
I know
you.
there's been some citations that all go around with that. I don't have those numbers for you, unfortunately. I think we've talked about that before. It's real difficult to parse out how citations fall. But I can tell you that just from my personal experience that I wrote 3 inside the village here in the last month. So that's this, you know, being the supervisor coming down and backing up our Mount Sterling unit. Particularly when we had the first holiday weekend, you know, those bring in lots of out-of-towners, lots of extra traffic, probably where we get extra complaints.
Yeah.
So, you know, that weekend, you know, you had your Mount Sterling unit, and then I sort of backed them up for several hours out of the shift to just sort of give a little extra.
Well,
nudge there,
we
just
like
say,
we like having you here, so if you want to ever spend more time, please consider doing it, but we also like your reporting, so, come on up.
Those traffic jams, was that during summer jam?
You know, I don't know how we break those, I mean, I know how we break them down, how they're called in, but I don't know the dates of them. I do know that Deputy Hagaki and myself, when we had the street festival, worked some intersections for a while, but we worked with everybody really well to get traffic moved. Honestly, I work dozens of big events, you know, Cap City Marathon, Columbus Marathon, lots of big traffic events, Ohio State football games, and every time you put together an event that you change any flow of traffic, you have headaches. It
Yep.
never goes without, it
Yep.
never goes as planned, and it never
Right.
goes without hiccups. And so part of, you know, all those Columbus events, you know, Columbus, when they organize their events, they steal supervisors from surrounding communities. Why do you steal supervisors? Well, because somebody has to still go out there and day of fix those headaches. And they just don't have enough people, you know, to do it. So it's the same thing down here. You know, Deputy Hagaki's down here, she's addressing issues. What does she need to back her up? She needs a supervisor, because at a certain point, you just have to look at the problem you have, and you have to sort of finagle out a way to get it to work. And you can't do that with all the pre-planning in the world, because, you know, just like the gentleman alluded to, you know, you can make all the plans for how people are gonna park, and then all of a sudden, one person starts parking differently, and it starts that pattern of behavior to cause problems. So, yeah, it's just, it is the world.
Right. Anything else for Sheriff's Office tonight? All right, thank you very much.
thank you.
All right, Misty, utilities update.
Well, first
Can you please come to the mic?
It's been quiet for some reason in the office.
You're making her. Come on.
Public can hear you.
You can even sit down if you want.
But it's been really quiet in the office this past week, not saying why that could be, but Courtney, you are missed.
Oh, thanks.
Mayor Darlington will be in and out of the office this week. She has some family issues going on. It's all going the right way though, so if anybody needs to get a hold of her, feel free to call, leave a message on my phone, or, if you get a hold of me, I'll relay that message. So she's always reachable, even if she's not in the office. Let's see, couple issues today, come up, and one of it reminded me that when Kenny was in here talking about his neighbor at the Sterling Bluegrass, and they've done so much work to that place, right beside the Sterling Bluegrass, and they took out the gas tanks at one time, and it's just looking really nice. Well, they called us over there. Since I've been here, they haven't had service, so they're wanting to start up service, and we turned their water on, and there's a major leak. And I just, the things that people go through, and others don't know. And a lot of times I don't say how many leaks are going on or what's going on, but I feel bad for them because it's underneath, most likely, the concrete sidewalks. Could be underneath the, the front of the building. But anyway, just some hard times that people have that you don't realize because they don't go on Facebook and complain or whatever. I do want to thank, well, it's not done yet, but Tom Hale and Christy, of course. Anytime there's Tom, there's always, Christy helping out. But he's going to come here in the morning and fix the issue, help the guys fix an issue right next door at 77 West Main. There's a leak, and it's on our side. So he's going to drive the vac truck for the first time for us.
Great.
So we appreciate that. It's
sure do.
teamwork, and Courtney had talked to one of the Madison County operators, and they're willing to drive the vac truck for us when needed also.
Wonderful.
So, yeah,
You
I
are.
thought that was pretty nice of them, to take their time like that. So, we have some delinquents going on, and there's about $6,600 in delinquents. We do have still a couple out there for collections. One of them just ran out of the time for collections a couple days ago, so that's going to be turned over to the attorney. It's the first one that we've had that it's went that far. The other one is still in the grace period of paying back the amount. So I'm sure the water committee will be hearing about decisions to be made for the future on how to handle instances like that. Let's see, there's 5 accounts that we're waiting on money from the county. That's around $2,700. There's a few already off. There's also some things I'm going to bring up to the water committee, and then I'm almost done. I know I've taken up my time here. Is that there's some places in town that need some work so we can get to our shutoffs easier. And some of them pretty major, so we'll discuss those addresses and how to go forward with that. I think that's about it.
Any questions for Misty tonight?
No.
Good update, thank you. Any questions? Any questions?
All right. And thank you for everybody that played a part in the summer jam. I thought it was pretty nice, too.
It sure was.
Hey,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
thank
Good
you.
night.
you leaving?
All right.
I am in about half hour or so.
Well, I want to thank her real quick, too. You helped at the information booth as well as Courtney, and Courtney did lots of other behind-the-scenes stuff at Summer Jam, and I know I had Joy's help, and I know both of you guys were up there doing pie in your face, and you were pie in your face, and everybody just joined in, and then we had,
I took one.
I know, you took one right on the nose.
Oh.
And,
You know,
and then we had, you know, Joyce and Bill and Rob and donated bikes for our event. We gave away, you know, 5 bikes and probably 50, 60 helmets. And it was awesome for the kids, and they really enjoyed it. And so, you know, everyone that chips in just a little bit or a lot, it all helps. It does take a village, literally.
That gentleman that sung the
So-
national anthem, "We Raised the Flag," he did an
Yeah.
excellent job.
Yeah, I want to thank a lot of other people too when
Yeah,
we
he
get
did.
to it, but I know you're leaving, and I appreciate you helping. And she even loaned me a little scooter. I don't know if any of you saw me out there on a scooter. That was dangerous. Yeah, it was scary, but it was fun. Yeah, that was the first time I've ever been on a scooter.
Who took the most pie in the face?
Probably Rob.
Yeah.
I think me and Rob.
I kind of treated it like a dunk tank, so when they were walking by, I was trying
So
to,
you're
you know,
talking smack.
just a little bit.
So was I.
You were begging for it.
It was fun.
There's one more thing that I know I'm on my way about, but I need to mention. A very nice gentleman by the name of Tim Taylor. He's a new bulk water customer, and we've had a lot of new bulk water customers. Some of them went ahead and set up their account, but they haven't, you know, had any distributed yet. There's a company that's working on the gas lines over at 323. They already signed up, but they'll be getting their water in August. But I think that we're gonna reach that amount to hopefully get the automatic distribution system for the bulk water really, really quick.
I love hearing that. That is
Good news.
Yeah.
Great
Very
job.
good.
Well, this Tim said that, he would be getting, like, I mean, there's a lot of them, a lot of customers that would say that, oh, we'll get a lot more if you're open on the weekends or evenings, but he said that he would be getting a lot more that, over at London, back when he was getting it there the last time, he, got about 100,000 gallons on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
wow.
Yes, so, you know, that'd be $13.50 right there.
Yeah, it would be.
And every time I would talk to them, because they either have to call or text me, or George or Aaron before they, you know, go to the plant to get that water. And every one of them I talked to, I told them about the rates, and, you know, they weren't real surprised.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's coming.
Thank you.
Great.
All right,
Good
that's
news.
good. We like hearing stuff like that. That's good. That's great news. Thank you, Misty. All right, now from Misty to Christy. We're gonna shift gears. Zoning and building. Christy, take it away.
I'm gonna give you a year-to-date.
Awesome.
For
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
So for right now, we have 26 residential building permits that have been pulled. We have 10 new dwellings, 6 commercial permits, and 14 zoning. And then we've had a variance case, and then we have a variance case coming up.
Okay.
So, and then we're always available if there's questions with building or zoning or anybody has any issues.
So, people want to live here.
Yes.
People want to put businesses here. People want to build things here. This is good news.
And the numbers, and they're gonna just keep going up.
Yep.
You know, those are just, the 10 is just the new dwelling part of it. Now
Right.
they've gotta pull all the mechanicals to go along with it.
Yep.
So you'll notice the numbers times 5.
Oh, wonderful. We,
Continue to rise.
absolutely. Questions for Christy tonight?
Just,
Looks like we got some growth.
in regards to variances and stuff, and I know we all allude sometimes to Facebook, but they said like Mount Sterling doesn't give variances. That's not true for the general public, right? That they need to come and ask, and then the committee
Yeah,
and
there's a
Tom
full normal
will-
process, and I
Right.
believe that we have done a pretty
We
darn
have had
good
some.
job working with residents to figure out what
You always
exactly
hear
it
the
is.
bad part of it.
Right.
Yeah, to work with residents to figure out what they're trying to do and how we can get them there. And that's the way I think government should work, is trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah,
I think we do a really good job.
Right.
You know, we always encourage you, you know, to direct them to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we try to get them on the agenda, you know, tell them the timeframes, what they need, you know, when to be there, you know,
right.
so.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just wanted the people to know that we do listen, and you guys are out there working hard for them and trying to make things work.
And for the you know, just to put a point on it, for 99% of people who come in, they don't need a variance. They just need to fill out their paperwork and they're on their way. And variance only happens when you want to do something that's different.
Right.
So, you know, most of the time, residents are getting their stuff as witnessed by all your numbers you've got tonight, and they're on their way. They never have to come to a committee meeting, so,
Yeah, and then I think some of the biggest confusion is the process.
right.
You know, it's the process. What do you need? What is it we have to do? And so we've really been working everybody through the process.
Good.
Any other questions or comments tonight on that? All right, hearing none, thank you. We appreciate it. All right, last but certainly not least, fiscal officer.
Okay, so you guys have your reports, I won't take up too much time. I didn't receive any comments or questions over the weekend on the reports. Let's see, as far we are January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, okay, so we're around almost to the end of our second quarter. So, again, just as a reminder, July the 12th is the Financial Commission Committee. Will be held here, open to the public as always. It will be in person here at Town Hall on the 12th at 10 a.m. And also it is recorded, so if anybody cannot attend that, those are recorded just like all the other meetings are. Is there any questions on any of the reports that you guys see here in front of you? Again, there were some, in your receipt listings, you will see some Treasury of State. Those are restitutions, so restitution is still coming in, really hot. So you guys will see a lot of those being received as well, for large dollar amounts.
So one of them alone is $3,000, just
Correct.
one of them.
Yep,
Nice.
Another one of them is $933.75.
yeah. So you guys will see that. And let's see, revenues, again, we are above what was budgeted, which is where you want to be. Expenditures are below what was budgeted. So, that's exactly the position that you should be in. And auditors are satisfied, as I speak to them almost daily. So they have no complaints. So we will have that meeting on the 12th, if anybody's interested.
I know I'm finance, that's always good news to hear that. I know, and I agree that, I can't
There's
believe
always something in finance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so with that said, I would ask for a motion for the approval of the appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, comparison of budget and appropriated, the cash summary by fund report, and the reader report.
You have that motion?
Joyce?
I'll second it.
I heard Rob. Joyce and then Rob, would you like a roll call?
Yes, please.
Okay, Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Okay, and I will circulate to obtain your, signature, please, on two of those.
All right. I'll give a brief finance committee update. We have met here in June. I can't believe June's basically almost over. And we've been continually working on all the requirements that the auditor has laid down and the fiscal oversight committee has laid down. And some of them include a recovery plan update and capital improvement plan. So we continue to beaver away at those things. Those are not the world's most interesting and fun things to be doing, but you know what? It has to be done. We have to stick to a plan, and if you have one, you sure do feel better that you're not winging it. So I'm looking forward to having those done. We also are finding the dollars in order to do emergency repairs on the hydrants, for example, the fire hydrants. And we're working through all of the onboarding that you have to do when we're looking at village administrator and assistants in the water clerk section. So it's been a busy one, and let's see, when is the next finance meeting? It is normally the first Wednesday of the month, but we're gonna boot it due to holiday and things to the 13th, and that will be at 3:30. All right, Pleasant Township, David.
We meet again on July 5th.
All right. Squad.
We normally meet the second Wednesday of every month at 8. We are going to actually meet July 6th, the first Wednesday, due to the Madison County Fair. Other members have commitments to that. So July 6th at 8 p.m.
Great. Fire, Bill.
I have nothing to report. The next meeting is going to be this coming Wednesday.
Okay, great. Water, wastewater.
Gave a pretty good report last time. I wasn't sure, I heard that some people were gonna be out of town, so, it's me and you, right? Are you not available either the 6th? We wanna move it back to the 13th?
I'm available, so it doesn't matter to me either.
But you're not available?
I am not available.
Okay.
We can move that to July
The
13th.
13th?
At 2:30, correct? Okay. And I was just really encouraged by Misty's report. I know we have some still outstanding water, and hopefully we'll get that, those delinquents collected soon. But I was encouraged by, last council meeting, we amended our bulk water rate, and it's good to know. Haven't scared anybody off yet with those rates, and it's been said by several of those consumers that our water is like the top quality and is delivered really quickly through our distribution over there. So hopefully we are able to show soon how we can pay for that distribution where we don't have to have our men over there doing that, and can free them up and get some more weekend traffic going over there. But so until then, I guess we will wait until July 13th to see what else is new.
Perfect, thank you. Streets, we're getting ready in the month of July to start work on repaving and pothole patching, so I'm really excited about that. That should be actually a pretty sizable, meaty project. So hopefully if you see folks out there with grinders and so forth, please drive safely around them. They're gonna be working on major thoroughfares as well as other side streets in town, so please be kind to them. Kind of waited a long time to get them here, so we're trying to get that wrapped up in July. Also, if you haven't had an opportunity, please go downtown and look at our brand spanking new parking spaces. So those, thank you guys. Our own staff did that, so they laid all those out, and they are neat as a pin. They look good. They look good. They really dress up downtown, and we look forward to tackling a lot of the curb work next. So painting curbs and doing crosswalks and all that stuff that needs to be done for maintenance purposes. So it's going to be a busy July and August, I can tell you that. So that is my report for streets. It also will be July 13th, but at 8 a.m. It's the first meeting.
Streets?
Streets. Mm-hmm. All right, Parks and Recs, Becky.
Yes, we've been very, very busy. I mentioned on some of it before. The Parks and Rec Committee did an event at Summer Jam. We were out there 3 hours giving away, letting them shoot some hoops. The mayor donated a little, it's still laying in pieces back there, basketball. I was gonna put that away. She said she'd get it, but I guess I met her help.
I was supposed to do that. Jeff was supposed to do it.
But she did donate us a little hoop thing, and then we, like I said before, had donated bicycles and put a lid on it. Grant donated those helmets that we gave away. We had a lot of happy little children getting those, so that was a big success. And then we just had Saturday night, our second movie night, and it was Luca. And Bill and Rob put together a real fun little fishing and water balloon throwing and some little squishy balls they threw at each other. And the kids had a big water battle before the movie. And then we showed the movie, and it was a lot of fun. It was real cute. And another thing, we had a very good turnout, but we had enough prizes. Some of them were taken from last year's fishing event that we had leftover poles. Some of them we donated more things, but every child there got a lot of small little trinket prizes, and then every child got a big prize. So that was super exciting for the kids. I mean, some of those little kids were standing like this, hoping for their number because they wanted a fishing pole so bad, and we were just
We
really
done counted.
pleased.
We knew
Yeah, we
that.
knew we had
All
enough
of
for
them were
everybody.
getting
So.
Every child that wanted a fishing pole got one.
Yes,
nice.
so
Some left over,
it
so
was
great deal.
a really feel-good night, and of course, we're gonna have another movie night the last Saturday in July. I believe that's the 30th, and that
Yes, it is.
is Raya
Riot, the Last Dragon, I think is what
the
that's
Last
called.
Dragon. Okay, and it's a really cute movie too, and I encourage everybody to come out. Who knows what we might work out at Park and Rec for, for that as far as prizes or adventure that we might do that night, but
It'll be fun.
it will be fun. And I just want to thank everybody who came out. There was a lot of adults there too, and it was a really good night. We still do need to, at Parks and Rec, we need to get some more lighting out there. And it's kind of hard to take things down at the end of the night.
Challenging.
Uh-huh. So that needs to be kind of on the top of our agenda. But our next meeting, are you available on the 6th, Bill? I know Rob is,
6th,
of July, our normal meeting night.
I believe so.
Wednesday, the 6th at 7 o'clock. So if you're available, we might as well go ahead and have our meeting because we need to get a good jump on things for the next movie night.
Because I thought they were all changed.
Oh,
That's what I was under impression too, but I'm good with that as
we
well.
can, I can change it.
Either or.
I mean, I didn't know they were all changed. I just heard some of them were, do you want it changed? Do we need
No,
it changed?
I was just saying, like, that's what the consensus was.
We got emails.
What time, 7 o'clock?
Okay, do we want to do it on the 13th or do we want to
Do it on the 6th.
do it on the 6th, which?
I'm indifferent, so whatever works
Okay,
best
well,
for you two.
We'll think about it, we'll post it on the site. How about that?
Becky, has there been any talk though about maybe having the Family Feud this summer? I would love to see.
I know.
We can get the sheriff to take
Yeah.
the
And
challenge.
get us to take the challenge.
We
yeah,
gotta get the
that'd be
sheriff
fun.
to accept our challenge. We've thrown down the gauntlet, but they might be afraid
I
of
think
us.
Jack's all talk.
That would be my guess.
I think-
Yeah.
Was
Becky,
all Mark
Intimidated.
Murray.
Very intimidating.
I really think it would draw a big crowd. I really
Yeah.
do.
I think it would be fun.
As long as there's no pies or water involved.
No, I'm over
about
pies. I
That'd
can't
be
even
fun
do
to
it.
see.
No.
I'm over
Unless I
pies.
get a
I'm
fork.
over pies for a little while.
Right,
It'd be interesting.
right.
All right.
But-
Anything else on?
I cleaned the board that I've made for
Oh.
the pie contest. I had to spray it off with water. I had to take a plastic scraper and scrape it
It was so
off.
thick.
Then I had to use my power washer
Oh my.
to get it clean.
But it's clean now.
That
It was
is- I
pretty
had a
thick.
similar process for my beard, so.
Yeah, I'm still
That's-
finding
oh
whipped cream
my.
in place.
Well, the losing team in Family Feud could get a pie in the face.
No,
We're
Not
good
unless
on
you're gonna
that.
take one.
You go right ahead, David.
We're not gonna get beat.
I think that's all I had.
All right, thank you. Records retention, I've already given an update for the month, so our next meeting will actually be this Friday, which is the 1st, at 8 a.m., so we're just working along on that, so we'll have a report to you all the next time.
Make sure I got all these dates down.
Nuisance abatement, Joyce.
Yes, thank you. I don't have much at all because we haven't met since the last meeting. But what I would like to comment on is a comment that Rob made to me earlier, that now the mowing company that we have a lot of residents that are very happy
They're
because
pleased
we're
with it,
getting
yes.
things done. Grass is coming down and cleanup is going well. So I appreciate your input on that, Rob, and look forward to hearing a lot more as time goes on. We also will not be meeting on the 6th. Our next meeting is going to be on the 13th. And I have not yet met with Miss Courtney again in regards to nuisance and abatement phone calling. I did get the big red book, so I'm trying to go through that and do some things to update and get some copies to the members as well, the committee members. But I still want to encourage people to watch their clippings, make sure that we don't have clippings. There is an ordinance against that for safety reasons. and sewer reasons, if I'm not mistaken. So we want to also be aware, to make sure that we're not, putting those clippings on the street. And again, I want to thank everyone in the village for all of their help in our cleanup and making Mount Sterling a nicer, prettier village to live in. So again, we'll meet again. For anyone who would like to join our meeting, we will be meeting again on the 13th, and nuisance will be at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Thanks to everybody who's gotten involved
Joyce,
with
I
that.
got a
It matters.
question about nuisance. Do we have any kind of ordinance, dogs relieving themselves on our public sidewalks? Because my good cowboy boots got it a second time.
Yeah, we've had some issues with, dogs in our yard as well. But I have not found an ordinance, but it seems to me that I did read something about, people are supposed to clean up after their pets.
This is common
Okay.
courtesy. If you're walking your dog, carry
Agreed.
bags.
I will continue looking for
Okay,
that, but it
okay.
is something we might want to
Yeah, I
think
just
about
remember-
at the
Sharpen up a
next
little bit.
meeting.
Even my
That's
young
right.
sons take our dog for a walk. They carry bags
Absolutely.
Yeah,
with them.
usually do.
And
yeah.
they're 6 and
There's a few-
11.
Well,
They
for-
know well enough to clean up after their
Right.
pet. The adults should as well.
Right, and I agree with you. And we thank you for that, for setting that example. So, hopefully other village residents will pick up on that. But I appreciate your input as well, and we certainly will look at that at the next, committee meeting. And, in the meantime, I will try to find what the ordinance does specifically state. And when I find it, I'll snap it and
Or if
get
it
it out to
doesn't,
the
then maybe
committee.
we can write one, per se.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, that if I don't find what we need in the ordinances, we will discuss a recommendation to council to see, because it's an issue. And, the thing about it is, we have a lot of strays, especially cats. And, what are you gonna do? Spray your yard? I don't know. There's nothing we can
The
do
members
about
of
that.
the United Church approached me, and people's letting their dogs relieve from their church lawn. And that's why I was
That makes me
wondering.
sad, and I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
that's
hear that.
appalling.
So, any village resident that sees this happening, document it and let us know. We have cameras, so, at our house, so we know who's doing it. But, it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So, thank you for all of your input, and, anyone again that would like to join us on the 13th for our nuisance committee meeting, again, it's at 6 o'clock. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Planning and zoning, I don't have any additional comments over the ones that Christie was able to give us. That said, this is the calendar fun of the year, remembering when planning and zoning is versus Bill's safety meeting. So
Tomorrow.
it would be tomorrow.
Meetings tomorrow.
No, it's Wednesday.
That's right.
However
So we
the
may
case-
cancel tomorrow.
That's-
Council.
No, Safety Block Watch is July 12th.
Fair enough.
Yes.
That probably would make the most of everyone's time and
Right.
schedule, and obviously you wouldn't
Because he
have.
didn't have anything. I didn't get anything through the agenda for
Okay.
tomorrow,
We'll have stuff,
for the variance.
Is July, what time?
Yes,
the variance,
No,
contractor review.
7 o'clock.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay, so good. I'll
Make
make a note of
proper
that so I can let everybody know.
Okay, wonderful. So we will not be having a meeting tomorrow. So we will push that off to July.
Yeah, because there'll be a lot for July, I do know that.
Yeah. All right, we have no ordinances and resolutions this evening, so that opens us up to
Forgot me.
Oh, I'm sorry? Did I forget?
Although I'm just gonna
I
tell you.
apologize.
Although I am just
Bill,
gonna tell you.
I skipped right past it. Bill, excuse
Billy?
You didn't have Bill.
Although, I was just gonna tell you, we
Excuse me.
haven't had a meeting since I last reported, but our next meeting is gonna be July 12th. However, we were supposed to have a couple of ordinances to vote on tonight, and for whatever reason, they didn't get to us.
Yeah, we're behind on that, but
That is correct.
let's take a look at those when you get them in. So your next meeting, say that again, is July 12th?
July 12th, 7 PM.
All right. Now, that really does take us to roundtable since we have no ordinances or resolutions. So you have my apology on that one. So July 12th.
I have something for roundtable when you're ready.
Please, go ahead.
Summer Jam. Thank you, Becky Martin. Thank you, Barbie. Mick and I, in the past, have, since our children are all out of the house, we kind of don't go to a lot of the festivals and things that we used to when our kids were small. But we we did come down. We sat in the booth for a little bit, and that was kind of cool, just watching everybody, walk around and seeing what's really going on in downtown Mount Sterling. But we got to see Becky in action. And you talk about a busy gal. When she says, I'm just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, she's not kidding. She really did. And we're thankful for you and all the work that you pour into that. And anyone else that I don't know of that is from that commission.
Market.
Yes. We appreciate you and all of your efforts. It was fun. We even walked around afterwards. Until we saw the snake guy with the thing around his neck, and I'm like, yeah, we're out of here. I thought we had an ordinance that you're not allowed to have snakes in the village, but I didn't have my book with me. So, but we really, sincerely, we really did enjoy it. We walked around, we saw some, old friends, tried to make new friends, had waffles. I mean, it was just, it was really nice. So I have to thank the people that put that on. They did a good job, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
I want to compliment Becky too. During Summer Jam, she was running around. We said, which flag are we going to get to? Which is? Becky's running around. Well, we'll get this one. We'll get this one. And there was 8 veterans that gathered around the pole with us. And when that gentleman sung the national anthem,
it
the
was
Vietnam
moving.
veteran, tears was coming down
It was
the aisle.
very
And
moving.
He looked at me and he said, Dave, he said, that meant more to me. He said, when we came home from Vietnam, nobody applauded for us or anything. And it just made you think a little bit. And I think that flag raising, every time I've been to one. Then also, post 4117 will be in the 4th of July parade. We're going to have our color guard there. And there's something about 4th of July that makes me feel like Captain America. So I get so involved in 4th. I'll be in that parade.
You gonna wear your cape?
I'll carry my shield if I have to. No, but there's something about 4th of July. And sometimes I think our country, we kind of say stuff about it and this and that, but we still got the best country in the world. And sometimes we don't agree all together, but that's what I love about a democracy. We have a right to do our opinions, and praise God we got that. And Becky, I want to thank you for your hard work.
Thanks. I just want to say, earlier when Kenny was in here, I misspoke a little when I said, Barbie and I did a big part of the work. Barbie and I do a lot. We took a lot of flack ahead of time, during, and that's probably why I was a little defensive, so I apologize for that. But there are a lot of people. I just want to reiterate that. A lot of people did a lot of work. It was not just us. I want to thank all the small businesses and the individual sponsors. We had lots of those that sponsored our contests, and the small businesses that stayed open extra hours. I want to thank everyone that was participating in the Touch a Truck, the squad, the sheriff, the tankers, all that kind of, Doug Crabb with his little paddy wagon. I want to thank the organizations. We had the Masons out there doing their thing. We had the American Legion raising the flag. We had the Methodist Church making the delicious waffles. Those are great. And I was telling them about an event in September, and they can't be here, so I'm really disappointed about that. But the sheriff's department, we were talking earlier, and the village workers. Those village workers, did a lot of hard work before setting up all those barriers, and there's a lot to think about, and sometimes we do miss little things, but everyone worked really hard and put up roadblocks. And the sheriff's department, I know when we called them and said, hey, they're not going the right way, they were right there on it and got it going the right way. The guys moving all those tables and bleachers, we had 3 guys doing that, and that's a lot of work to move all those all the way from the park down here and put them where, everybody wants them. And I just, there's so many people that did so much work for that. And, it is once a year event, and I'm very grateful that council came through and was good sports, and the mayor, and did the pie in your face thing to raise money. We raised some good money. And, you know, next year we might tweak it or do something a little different or have the sheriff's department in there. No, I'm teasing.
Ground
But-
rules would be.
Ground rules, yeah, we have to have a line.
Throwing, pipe, not
Pie throwing, not pie punching, exactly. But, you know, there's lots of people I'm gonna miss in thanking, but I just wanna. It does. It truly does. That's a good phrase. It takes a village. And one last thing I just want to say that is coming up, David touched on it, the 4th of July parade. That is at, we gather at the Mount Sterling Community Center at 9 o'clock. And Tom Corbin from the Masonic Lodge is kind of our head honcho organizing that. And he does a great job with his son. He'll be in the, come up to the gazebo and do announcements when everybody comes by. And that parade will start at 10 a.m. And we have a much bigger parade route this time. So we're trying to make as many people happy as possible so everyone can see it as much as, you know, possible. And so we encourage anyone to come out, put a float, put a car, a truck, a boat. We've had someone put a boat in it once before. You know, ride your bike. And we just also, the Chamber of Commerce announced the first day of Summer Jam, the winners of the Beautiful Yard contest. And we encourage those people to come out and brag on their beautiful yards and hang a sign on their cars and trucks. So that is the 4th of July, and as things stand right now, the Masonic Lodge is planning on having like some hot dogs out front on Town Hall lawn and some kettle corn. So that'll be something else fun. And I believe Mr. Storr is donating some American flags again, so we'll be out passing those out to everybody who's on the streets. So please come out, and the kids look forward to it. Everyone in the parade tosses lots of candy, and it's just another really good feel-good event. So, and you know, you still have plenty of time. The parade will be over within a half an hour, and the roadblocks are a moving roadblock. The sheriffs follow behind us, so it's no one's inconvenience for too long. And
On the 4th.
on the 4th, it is on the 4th. We've kind of made that. It's Monday, a week from today.
Come and watch me march and see if I can march the whole thing.
I think he said we definitely have Madison Plains Marching Band. So that's exciting, but yeah, come on out and support him. You still have time to get home to those cookouts after the parade, so we hope that everyone can do that. That's all I have.
Great. All right. No other comments? Okay, well, that finishes the business for the evening, and we are adjourned. Thank you all. At 8:02.
Once weighed 10 pounds, and when we got them up here, now the 1903 went, the 1903's a little bit lighter.
The Mungaram was like 9.5 pounds
Oh,
empty.
yeah.
Then you add half pound.
Oh boy, on that bike.
That was really cool. I guess that his.
I am for it.
Oh, yeah, they're